everybody, this is me, MC Gamer, and welcome to Hyrule Academy class. Welcome to the #1 show on the internet that talks about Zelda lore while playing Zelda remixes and chiptunes and songs. And we also talk about fan theories, because we're the only show on the internet that does that, because apparently there's not a demand for it. That's kind of sad, in my opinion, but we do this every Friday night at 10 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, right on over at RadioHyrule.com, the best station for Zelda music. It's also the only one, but that does not mean it is not the best. It is definitely the best station, as I'm sure the 47-plus people currently in the chat room could tell me. Indeed, right, exactly. So, we have a very exciting show for you today. We're going to be talking about a land that's not Hyrule. I know we're Hyrule Academy, but this week we're going to be Holodrum Academy. I hope you guys are okay with that. I know it's a harsh change, but it's only for 1 week. We might come back here later on in the world, but later on time, not the world. But it's okay. It's fine. It's fine. It's good, right? It's fine. We're going to be Holodrum Academy, and we're proud. We are proud of our Holodrum. In addition, I have a lot of great songs picked out for you this week. We have lots of interesting music and remixes. And there's one that's going to make you very confused, but and we got some really good stuff and a lot of Oracle Seasons music, because that's where Holodrum is from. So I hope you're very excited. And I have a very big announcement that I'm going to be saving for you for later on in the show. If you're a fan of my personal work, you're going to be very excited to hear about it. If you're just here for the Hyrule Academy or Radio Hyrule fan, that's okay. You can still enjoy the show without having to be excited about my special announcement, which is going to be totally amazing. But whatever. Do what you want. This is your show, not my show. It's kind of my show. It's kind of owned by Radio Hyrule. I wonder if they could take me off there. Let's hope they don't do that. Instead, let's talk about Holodrum. So Holodrum is a land it's in the same dimension as Hyrule. This much we know for sure. You know how we know that? Because Princess Zelda goes there. And Link goes there. And while Link is transported by the power of the Triforce, that doesn't mean it's not still there, because Impa has to get there, and Zelda have to get there. Did they travel by the Triforce? I don't think so. They probably took a boat. I'm guessing they took a boat to Holodrum. That's probably what happened. That's the most likely thing, but we'll talk about that in just a little bit. Holodrum is a beautiful place. It has mountains. It has swamps, prairies, plains, woods, villages, deserts, even some spooky things like a graveyard, as well as an ocean, amongst other landmarks that you explore throughout the entirety of the game. And while they also have all of this, they have a very specific underworld. The underworld is a very important theme inside Legend of Zelda. We have ones like the Dark World and Lorule, but there's a very specific one in Holodrum. It's called Subrosia. And that's not going to be our main conversation tonight, because I know you guys want to go like fantastic talking about Subrosia, but I think we have to say that for another time. Let's focus a little bit more on Holodrum. We can mention Subrosia. That's fine. I am not opposed to a little bit of Subrosia discussion, but tonight's about Holodrum. And this is a wonderful land, and what's very important about this land is that the seasons affect the land a lot. Unlike most Zelda games, you control the seasons directly, and the seasons are used to help you discover new dungeons, new items, and different areas. And it's very specific, and while it may just be specifically a game mechanic, we also have some questions to ask about it. Maybe there's a little bit more to it than we are not really reading into. I really want to, I want to explore the seasons tonight. I want you guys inside the chat at RadioHyrule.com/chat room. If you're listening in and not in the chat room, you're really missing out on the full experience. But you got to come join the class. Don't be the guy who sits inside the back of the back of the classroom. Don't be that guy who's just sitting outside the classroom. In fact, get in the classroom. Go to RadioHyrule.com/chat room and answer some of these questions I have for you this week. First off, how do you get to Holodrum from Hyrule? I theorized it was a boat, but I want to know your opinions. Where is Holodrum in relation to Hyrule? Related, where is Labrina, the game from the land from Oracle of Ages? Where is that in relation to Holodrum? Let me know. And lastly, why would the seasons be so specific and outlandish in Holodrum? They're very radical seasons. Like when it snows, it snows. When it's fall, it really is fall. When it's summer, it is very summer. Where elsewhere do they seem like it's not of importance? Like inside Hyrule, it's not of importance what season it is. When you're inside the land of Labrina, you go through time, but the seasons don't change. Why are the seasons so specific in Holodrum? Do you have any theories about that? Let me know inside the chat, and I will feature your messages later on inside the show. But for right now, guys, we do have some music to listen to. So I got some wonderful tracks for you, and we're going to be hearing a lot from the Lime of the Season album, which is a fantastic remix album dedicated entirely to Oracle of Seasons. And so to start us off, it is the self-titled song, Lime of the Season. Please enjoy and keep it locked to Radio Hyrule. And welcome back to Hyrule Academy on this wonderful Friday evening. We had lots of discussions going on inside the Radio Hyrule chat room. I hope you're having a lot of time to think about what you've been saying, because the quiz is later. There's no quiz. I promise you, there's no quiz. Maybe. You guys don't know. I could pop a quiz anytime, but not today, because I didn't prepare one. Oh man, there goes the element of surprise. So we have a lot of discussions going on in our chat, and a lot of people feel a little bit unprepared for their Holodrum discussions this week, but I'll get you guys later. Don't worry. All right. Now, first, let's recover what music you've been listening to. First off was Lime of the Season, and that was by DJ Mockram, Hylian Lemon, The Illurion, I can't say their name, I'm sorry, Xenon Odyssey, and Zorlax 7. A whole bunch of people contributed to that song and to the entire album. We'll be hearing a little bit more from their album in just a little bit. But for right now, I hope you guys enjoyed that little tease. After that, we heard The Legend of Zelda Rock Medley by Lazy NS. That is actually the first song we've ever had a repeat of on Radio Hyrule. I don't usually do repeats. I like to try to keep the tracks, individual every week. But this week, I couldn't help myself. Mostly because it had a very awesome cover of the Oracle Seasons opening theme and overworld inside it. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys appreciated it. I hope you enjoyed that music. It makes me very happy to hear so much great Zelda remixes and songs out there being created. So now we're going to discuss a little bit about Holodrum, and one thing that I didn't really talk to you guys about inside the chat, and that was something that we brought up inside a previous episode of Hyrule Academy, and that's how similar Holodrum and Hyrule from the Minish Cap are. So in the Minish Cap, there's a world that you explore, and of course, that's the game with the Bakori, the Minish people, and you're able to shrink down. And so what's very interesting is there's a lot of fan theories out there that state that Holodrum is actually the old Hyrule, and that as times changed, Hyrule was inside a new location, and that's how that happened. And it turns out that the Minish Cap Hyrule actually ended up becoming Holodrum. And some of the things that you can see very simply are geographically, there's a lot of similarities. There's a two-peaked mountain. There's a waterfall with a Goron nearby, a big Goron, that is. There's a sunken city inside the same place as Lake Hylia. The Woods of Winter from Holodrum are inside the same place as the Minish Woods. And there's a swamp inside the same place. It is extremely similar to the maps. If you go ahead and give yourself a nice little Google, you will find that these areas are very similar. And my friend Silver brought this up to me a long time ago. And at first I didn't believe him until I saw the map. So pull it up. And in fact, Holodrum was actually initially based on the original map from The Legend of Zelda, the NES game. So maybe over time we went back to Holodrum and took it back over? I mean, it's doubtful, but I think it's very interesting that was an actual inspiration. And later on, Capcom had the chance to make a game after the Oracle games, and they chose to create the Minish Cap Hyrule and make it look very similar to the land Holodrum. So that's very interesting. It's a very, very awesome reference. As not to mention, there are some characters inside the Minish Cap that are very similar to the Oracles because they're named Din and Nehru and Furore. So it's very interesting to me that there's a lot of similarities between these lands. Could they, in fact, be the same land? I'll let you guys inside the chat decide. So before we get back to the music, I want to give you guys a few reminders we need to talk about here during this break, because I want to hear you guys think and talk about where the heck Holodrum is in relation to Hyrule. That's one thing that's very specific. How do you get to Holodrum from Hyrule? We know Link is teleported there by the Triforce. But what about Zelda? What about Impa? Did they also take the magic Triforce boat ride? Can the Triforces do that at whim? What's going on there? Let me know inside the chat at radiohyrule.com/chatroom. This is Hyrule Academy on Radio Hyrule every single week, 10 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. Let's get back to the music. And welcome back to Hyrule Academy. How is everybody in the chat? Feel free to tell me. I'm watching it right now, after all. We've been having a wonderful evening. We've been discussing all sorts of crazy things about Labrina and Holodrum, specifically Holodrum. But there's been a lot of Labrina discussion too, and that's fine, because it really helps us kind of like cement our theories, you know. It really helps us really figure out what exactly we're talking about here. I'm hearing that we're good, we're fine, we're great. That's all great words. Great words to hear. Very good. Excellent. I'm glad to hear, because as your teacher here, your instructor at Hyrule Academy, Holodrum Academy, if you will, we like to make sure we keep it real. We're all friends here, after all, and that's what it's all about. It's about making friends and having a great time. And I know you guys have been hard at work doing your research and coming up with some great theories, which we're going to cover here in just a moment. But first off, let's cover what music you've been listening to. First off, we had Tall Tall Heights from Jake McCoy, and that is part of the Multiplayer album. Multiplayer, a tribute to video games. I'm going to link it over inside the chat room here in just a moment. It's a very wonderful album. And the best part about it is it's entirely for charity. So when you buy Multiplayer, you're helping charity out, and that's one of the greatest things that I've ever seen. The Multiplayer album has tons of stuff on it. I'm not being paid to sponsor them or anything like that. Don't worry, your show is safe. I have to give major shout-outs to the Multiplayer album. I've been listening to it non-stop, threw in my money, and I couldn't stop promoting it since then. So go ahead, go give it a listen. Lots of really great artists on that CD. After that, we heard Sunken City, and of course that was by the wonderful team from Zelda Reorchestrated. Thank you very much to Zelda Reorchestrated for another amazing song. I'm really sad that you're not currently creating music, but maybe one day you'll come back for us. That'd be beautiful. After that, we heard Din's Dance, and that was an arrangement by SG. Thank you, SG. I heard your song, and I was very surprised. I didn't know something like that existed inside the world, so I was very happy with that. So thank you very much. So let's get on into the community discussion portion of the show. It's where I take the things that you guys have been saying in the chat and try to bring a little bit of reason to them, because you guys you've been chatting up today, and I have to say you guys have a lot of theories and crazy freaking ideas, you guys. You guys have been off the wall today with some crazy theories. And while a lot of them I can't even begin to put into the show, mostly because I don't even know how I could try to justify them, you guys did have some good thoughts. For example, Knight of Hylia had a lot of thoughts about Labrina and Holodrum being on the same continent, but not on the same continent as Hyrule. Knight of Hylia says, I would think that they're connected by land, since much of the... I've Mush the Bear. Okay, I'll say Mush the Bar. What is Mush the Bar? I did not get your correction of that inside my text here. Mush the Bear is in both, and he hates going near water. And so that's a very interesting theory. It's a very good thing to bring into the discussion that Mush the Bear is in both games, but Mush the Bear hates water. So he probably wouldn't go over an ocean. So perhaps they are on the same continent, just in different areas. However, I kind of brought up a theory, which is specifically how the pirates in the game, they sail on the ocean to Labrina if you play a linked game. Knight of Hylia, though, has a bit of a counterpoint. They do indeed, but that doesn't mean that the lands are on different continents. They could just both be along the coast on the same continent. And while that's a nice theory, and I can try to accept it to an extent, I have a weird thing to kind of bring up. What would happen in Labrina then? If they were on the same continent, what is making Holodrum any less affected by the Rod of Seasons than Holodrum? Because Link, when he uses the Rod of Seasons, he is affecting the seasons in all of Holodrum. What's happening over in Labrina if they're on the same continent? What magically separates them? Like, there are no floating borders in the sky saying that this is Holodrum and this is Labrina. At the same time, why over inside Holodrum, why is there not, stuff happening during the events of Oracle of Ages? The chat is responding with time shift stones. I appreciate the reference, but that is not the answer that we need, guys. We need to think hard about this. I am of the theory that they are on different continents. They are all 3 different islands. In fact, Captain Trina agrees with me and says, what if Holodrum and Labrina are next to each other and Hyrule is across the sea in either direction? And the way that Captain Trina tried to bring us into more of a real-world example is, imagine Hyrule is the United States, and on one side you have Holodrum, and on the other side you have Labrina in the form of Asia and Japan, or Asia and Japan. Well said, MC. Asia and Europe. So you have them on either side. Personally, I've always kind of thought of it as a triangle, mostly because triangles. So imagine Hyrule is the tip of this triangle, and to one side, like the lower left-hand corner, there's Holodrum, and Labrina is on the eastern side. And this is I'm sorry. My actually, am I sorry? You see, the eastern shore is where the pirates land inside Labrina. So I'm thinking that if they land on the eastern coast, that that's where they crash, that the pirates would have to come in from the west. So yeah, Labrina would be on the west-hand side, and Holodrum would be on the east. So yeah, there's some theories for you all. I really, does that make Link's Awakening the result of the Bermuda Triangle? Oh gosh, there is some theories in the chat that perhaps the storm from Link's Awakening, as Link travels back from Labrina to Hyrule, he's caught inside a Bermuda Triangle effect. Hey, I mean, we did just like the flames of destruction, despair, and sorrow, and did kind of cause a giant shift inside the world. Oh, the theories are off the wall, my friends. You guys are on top of things tonight. All right, Captain Trina, you get another gold star. Gold stars. Give them gold stars. More gold stars. Very good. All right, some more discussions. Yashitaru says, the seasons are so apparent in Holodrum because Onyx invaded the Temple of Seasons and messed with the Rod of Seasons. Yes, indeed. That's one thing that I was trying to get to inside the chat. I was trying to coax you guys out of it. You guys said it pretty early on, but I'm gonna keep reading here. Nala says, well, Din is the goddess that created the earth, which must mean she created the seasons as well, right? Since she is a character in the game, it makes sense that they would be thrown out of balance with her capture. Yeah, her Oracle version, indeed, probably has, she is the Oracle season, so she has a lot of control over the seasons. And so when she's captured, it's natural that the seeds would be out of whack. That was the entire point of Onyx's mission. In addition, like, you guys never really said it outright, but when I said, why the heck is it, when it's winter, why is there piles of snow that are, like 5 feet tall? Like, that's like Alaska type of snow. And then at the same time, in the summer, there are freaking vines growing. Like, that's the jungle, man. That's like equator type weather. How are the seasons that like extreme? And the answer I'm looking for, guys, is Onyx has the Oracle of Seasons. And, when you go to Holodrum on vacation, after the course of this game, I'm sure the seasons are just fine. I'm sure it's a little warm inside the summer. You might have to wear a t-shirt. You might have to maybe get out the light jacket at nighttime, before you take a nice trip down the Oran Village trail, maybe. But inside the winter, you might have to get out the old snow shovel, but you're probably not having to jump into a woman's chimney to get the shovel. That's probably what I'm saying. The door is probably still accessible. It's because of Onyx and the capture of Din. So yeah, those are my theories on what's going on. Thank you all in the chat for kind of bringing me some thoughts and theories. And the Bermuda Triangle theory is going inside my book. I don't have a book, but I'm going to write one. I'm not going to write one. That is not my special announcement, which is coming up inside the next and final portion of the show. So I got some exciting music coming for you now. You're going to hear this first one, and I'm sorry if any of you get annoyed by it. It's only 1 minute, 24 seconds long. I beg you to listen to it. It might start out a little weird, but you're going to love it. Just like the Mario Paint song that I gave you before, this one's totally worth it, and it doesn't relate to the Oracle of Seasons games. So I hope you guys can bear with me, because there's a beautiful song after it to make up for a little bit of experimental music, all right? Now, guys, I hope you enjoy this music. Thank you for the discussions once again. Keep it locked to Radio Hyrule and Hyrule Academy. See you guys in just a few minutes. And welcome back to Hyrule Academy right here on Radio Hyrule. We've had a wonderful time tonight talking all about Holodrum. We've had discussions about where it is, what it is, what's in it. We've talked about Din, we've talked about Subrosia, we've talked about everything that we weren't actually supposed to talk to, but it was fun. That's what it was about, my friends. Fun. We're here for fun. That's all that matters. And we listened to some wonderful music. First up, we listened to Oran Village, and that was on floppy disk drive. So you guys were very excited about that. I'm glad to see that so many people are excited about a little bit of alternative music. And that was done by Digitally Remastered on YouTube. So give them a good old Google and find out more about their floppy disk drive songs. I really enjoyed their Oran Village cover. I was like, you know what? This is very good. This is very good, my friends. This is very good. After that, we heard No Rain in the Desert, which is, of course, the cover of Dancing Dragon Dungeon. Try saying that 5 times fast. Dancing Dragon Dungeon, Dancing Dragon. Can't do it. And that was by Chicken Warlord, Hylian Lemon, and that was featuring Brandon Strader and Tubers McGee. Thank you very much to all those wonderful artists for their work on the Lime of the Season album, which we did hear a little bit of earlier on inside the show. Now, guys, it's time to finish up the show. We got a few things that we need to recap first. So while you guys were pretty much on par, like with what I want to hear from you guys, most of our big things didn't come until later in the show. To kind of summarize some of our thoughts, is mostly about where Holodrum is and where Labrynna is inside relation to it, and Hyrule as well. A lot of you guys were okay with the theory that it's on the same continent. However, the big problem is that there's a little bit of weirdness with the seasons change and how boats travel from coast to coast. I mean, it's an okay theory, and I guess it would be easier to understand how Mush the bear actually travels between the two areas. But that doesn't really concretely say to me, this is the answer. What really stood out more to me was the idea of the separate continent idea. Mostly because the boats make me happy. In addition, why would Link need to travel back to Hyrule to be transported by the Triforce to Labrynna again? Why couldn't he just go straight from Holodrum to Labrynna just by walking? That's what I want to know. So that's why I think he had to go back to Hyrule by boat. And also, it does bring up the Bermuda Triangle idea that we had. That's really a very awesome little theory that came about late into the show. Anyways, guys, that is going to wrap it up for our discussions for this week. Thank you all for tuning in. I do have a special announcement, so stay tuned. First off, next week we have another show at Friday, 10 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. We'll be talking all about the Mirror of Twilight. So, for all you Twilight Princess fans, get studying, break out the Hyrule Historias. It's time to talk about the Mirror of Twilight and its magical properties. So, get very excited for that discussion. And if you enjoyed tonight's show and you want to hear more shows like this on Radio Hyrule, go to radiohyrule.com/donate. Throw a few rupees inside the big wallet, and we can make some cool stuff happen, all right? And if you want to email me at mc@supermcgamer.com if you have any requests, ideas for topics, or anything like that. I also take general criticism of how terrible of a voice I am on the internet. So go ahead and shoot some on over me. Anyways, it's time for a big announcement for you guys. So tonight's show wasn't just about Holodrum. It was about Oracle of Seasons, the game that's very dear to my heart, and I'm proud to announce that will be my next Zelda Let's Play, featured on my YouTube channel, Super MC Gamer, coming up after I finish up my Donkey Kong Country 3 Let's Play. So thank you to everybody who's supported my Zelda Let's Plays and all my Let's Plays over on my channel. I really enjoy doing them, and I'm really excited to start off with Oracle Seasons and later bring it into Oracle of Ages with a linked game to get the ultimate ending. So if you're very excited about Oracle Seasons and the stuff we talked about tonight, be sure to check that out when it premieres later on inside this month. So get very excited for that. Lastly, thank you all for watching. Your inputs, your thoughts are very appreciated. I know we have a lot of time left on tonight's show, but that's because we have a very long song to finish off tonight's show. Thank you all for being so dedicated and loving the show. It's truly a pleasure to do this show every week. It's probably my favorite thing I do on a weekly basis, so thank you all. Lastly, here's our song, Palace of Twilight remix by Cloud Drifter. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope it gets you in the mood for the Mirror of Twilight next week. I'll see you guys then. Keep it locked to Radio Hyrule and enjoy the music. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.